I'm back with another episode of my Minecraft creative series. So, in this episode, firstly, in the last episode, you can see I was working on that house. That's what I was doing in episode 3. So, in episode 4, we're going to be working on this area over here, kind of turning it into a nice sort of green space within the town. And I'll also be working on some of the surrounding houses. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and speed up the video first of all. I think I was just checking actually what is in that chest just before I demolish that building, because this building's just got to go. I mean, how, for these naturally spawning buildings, like, how honestly are people supposed to live in? They're literally like a shed. And I suppose people can live in sheds, like, if they want or need to. But it's definitely not ideal, is it? How, I don't know. I mean, my house is not the... Oh, we're watching the ocelot kind of attack little chickens there. That's not fun. My house is not the biggest, and I'd still love a bigger house even though I don't need one. Maybe I'm just ungrateful. I need to be more grateful for the amazing things that I've got. But anyway, so that house will be coming down. I'm just sort of marking out where I want the the boundary of the green space and the wall of the new properties to be. And I like to just kind of picture things like you've seen before. I sort of set out with houses how close to the sort of walkway or street I want them, and then from there work out whether it looks right or not. So I'm kind of doing that and working out, like, does the green space look too big? Does the house wall need to come closer? And in the end, I do move it a lot closer. It ends up sort of being where that building was, sort of in line with that. Actually, I think I do it off there. Yeah. Wait, I'm not sure. So we'll have to wait and see. Did I speed this up? It doesn't feel very sped up. No, it is sped up. 1.5, I think we're on. We're on 1.5, but it doesn't feel very sped up. I wonder what block I'm looking for right now. I honestly have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. I really wish I knew, like, exactly what to do with myself. I mean, I've just had a message from my sister. Where have I put my phone? There. Say that maybe she'll be back in about an hour. So then I was thinking, right, well, if I've got the opportunity while the house is free, I don't know why I always feel weird recording, like, when people are in. Must have been looking for bone meal look to just sort of put some nice flowers and stuff. And I think, ironically, I go back and get rid of most of those flowers when I put the path in. Look at that parrot. Is the parrot chasing the cat? That is funny. That is funny. I think it is. No, it's not. I love that we've got all these parrots everywhere. I mean, I said right back in the first episode, I can't believe I'm near a jungle biome. That's super exciting. I'm not really sure why I've stopped. Let's fast forward. I must have been busy doing something. So yeah, it looks like I do move that wall just a little bit closer. It's going to be a very small green space, but this green space kind of reminds me of a green space in Gainsborough. If you've been to Gainsborough, I mean, it's very unlikely that anyone watching this has been to Gainsborough, I don't know. But sort of there's a mini roundabout in the middle of the town, and on that roundabout there's like a bit of green space, and it's just so overgrown and stuff. I'd love to know, like, who owns it. Yeah, it just looks a mess. It really does. And there's actually some businesses on that roundabout too, and I think, oh, I'd just love to run my own little business. But anyway, as fun as it is having hopes and dreams, I cannot afford to run my own business. So I come up with some silly little idea project that I can work on at home, or just this, because I absolutely love this. But I need to stop thinking that, like, this is like, I genuinely do this for the enjoyment, not for what I get paid. I need to stop thinking about it like as something I'm going to get paid for. So yeah, here we go. Look, here is the demise of that lava house. That was where the series all started, wasn't it? So a bit of heritage getting lost there. But I did think it was weird that we had, like, a half broken down hut in someone's front garden. So I think this was the right thing to do. Feel free to let me know your thoughts as always. So yeah, just put grass in there and then continue those deep slate bricks. I'm glad it said the name then, because it had sort of just slipped from my memory. Yeah, putting a bit of greenery in, fantastic. Putting in the garden fence, great. Yeah, I think it looks okay. So then I set about working on these kind of houses and the green space and all that stuff. So yeah, putting the houses in here. I end up going for some really small, like, sort of terrace houses, like I always do. And I don't like that a lot of my houses are now starting to look like this, although I do really like the little cozy feel and the little bay window. I mean, a lot of new builds are really, really small houses, aren't they? I mean, I'm in a fairly new build myself, and I'm sure you can sort of tell from the background and everything, it's not a huge house whatsoever. I did think, like, for an episode idea, like, maybe should I build my house in my creative series? I wonder if there'd be any interest in that. So, yeah, that's an idea of something I could do. Other ideas I've had are, like, uh, giving you a tour of my council building, because I feel awful, like, when we're just watching me build houses, like, that's not fun. But also, I think you'd like to see sort of what I've done with the area. I don't know if it'll end up being a bit more like um, what my other series was like, where eventually I'm just sort of showing you what I've done off camera. Maybe that's the way forward. Not really sure. So yeah, I've kind of outlined like what those terrace houses are going to look like now, and I know that I've practically finished them. That was so weird how there was some water in there. It must have just been a little glitch. Nothing in that chest. And what is that little? I don't even know what that block is. Proper creative noob, I guess is the terms that I am looking for. So yeah, that naturally spawning building is coming to the ground as well. And I do end up putting a fairly, I say fairly big, it's not that big at all. I put another house in here. It is just a lot of house building at the minute. I'd love to get to the point of my old series where I'm just sort of working on bigger projects, maybe looking at shops and infrastructure and things like that. We'll just sort of have to see how this develops. So let's get all that ground removed and see me popping the house in. Okay, ground's removed. I guess I was following a parrot. I get distracted very easily. So I think I tried to make this green space kind of like, identical in size. So I'm just sort of looking at how big it is by going 3 blocks across in each direction. So yeah, 3 blocks across, 3 blocks across. And then it was one more than that, wasn't it? So that's kind of where I decide the wall of that property is going to go. It looks like I'm just putting that edge in on the pathway there. I guess it's kind of like a fake curb. I do think it makes them look a little bit nicer. I don't know if that's just me, but it does sort of add a bit of something to it. I know in this series, like in the old series, I was really looking at keeping like a medieval theme, and this one I've gone for a much more modern theme. I don't know if that was the right thing or not. And I think this is where I go and put all of that path in. So let's sort of skip to that path being put in because it's not very exciting to watch. Okay, and now I've come back over to the green space, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do next. So your guess is as good as mine. Am I going to put the house in, or am I going to put the path in? Let's see. My guess is, I've kind of given it away now. I think I'm looking at the house. So I do go for kind of a bay window like that, and I was thinking, oh gosh, all my houses look like this. So then I decide to actually go for a bay window either side, and I do make the bay window like a tiny little bit bigger. I go for 3 blocks instead of 2. I mean, I don't know if these 2-block bay windows are working. It does make some very, very small spaces, doesn't it? Look, I go for a bay window on that side too, and I think, gosh, this house just looks tiny. So then I end up moving everything sort of 1 block across and making the bay windows 3 blocks wide instead. And I don't really know what my plan for that building is. It's unfinished at the minute. I think I might work on a few bits kind of off camera, and then, yeah, I don't know exactly what I'll put in the next episode. I just thought, like, while I've got the time and the house is free, like, I think I should be recording. I don't know. I just, like I say, wish I knew exactly what to do with myself. I don't know if I'm just in a bit of a rut at the minute. I know I should be doing planning and stuff. It's not exactly how I want to spend my time off. And as I sort of said to my partner, like, I really need something other than teaching and work and whatever, just to sort of keep things ticking over and, yeah, sort of feel like I've got something to look forward to, as miserable as that sounds, because otherwise it's literally just work, 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 which is not a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun at all. So yeah, putting those bay windows in. This house definitely has a bit of character. I know it needs finishing off. Am I putting the floor in next? I'm not really sure. Yeah, let's fast forward. There's not a lot happening. I'm getting bored. If I'm getting bored, you must be getting bored. Yeah, cool. Putting a wall in, very exciting. Now I'm putting the floor in, so let's get the floor put in. And tabby dozy. What's the shortcut for skipping forward? Skip forward, control right. That sounds like a lot of effort. It should be 1 button, not 2. Is that just me being pedantic and lazy, maybe? Right, I don't think I actually put the roof on right now, but I can't remember if I'm being honest, so I'm just sort of shaping out what it will look like. And like I say, I plan on leaving that corner as just a little bit of like a park area, just to give the village a little something. I feel like, oh, here comes the rain. But we need the rain to appreciate the sunshine. How cringy, but yeah, I don't know. Am I doing the roof now? If I'm doing the roof now, I'm fast forwarding. That's boring. You don't want to watch me putting a roof on. Boring, boring, boring. Control right, control right. And it looks like we're getting to the end of the episode, so I think the next thing here is me just popping a path in. I think, yeah, I move it across so that it's sort of lined up with how I want it to be, and then I put the path in here. So I'm very conscious that I'm getting to the end of the recording, so I'll just sort of put the path in. I hope you're going to get like a bit of a view of kind of what everything looks like. All the grass was getting in the way there, and this is what I mean about putting all those beautiful flowers in, and then I just get rid of it. Yeah, popping the path in. It's just going to be a little shortcut across a bit of green space, which I think was the right thing, because if it was just all buildings, it would feel very much like a city, and we do need a bit of green space, don't we? I can't just have loads of buildings sort of sandwiched in together. I wonder if I should sort of recreate a courtyard like I did in the old series, but I don't know. I've not really found the perfect place for it around here. I don't know. So yeah, there's the little pathway. I think I do put little slabs on top of those blocks. Got 20 seconds, so yeah, slabs on top of those blocks, then iron bars. I'll show you maybe in the next episode because this one's going to cut off. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode of WAR.